found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I almost lost my place there for a minute. And today we're going to have a very interesting talk with a man known as Rick Jewers. And we're going to talk about the divine plan, living the divine plan, and GPMS. And we'll explain what all that is. And I'd also like to, Dot Connector will be here and in the chat as well. So let me bring on both of them. And I guess I'll do ladies first. Hi, Christine. And
hi, how are you?
Welcome, hey, that turned out just the way I wanted it to. Thank you. How are you? I hope you're great.
Yes, better. Getting better.
Always.
Yep.
Well, hi, Rick. Let's talk. Let's talk about the divine plan. Let's explain this to people, and then we can go to your website. Maybe you might open that up as well, Dot Connector, because you can share too, and we can share different pages.
Oh, thank you.
I'll try to share.
We'll see if it works. I might be able to do it too. So, okay, go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
Not at all. Thank you so much, Gail, for having I back. And you know, with this, one of the first thing that you had mentioned my website. Now, what I wish to say is this website is actually for the people.
Yeah.
So as ones come in, it's all of ours. It's for the people. And I know, you know, that ones at times may think it's my website or my idea, but I wish it gives me the opportunity when this is said to give some more clarity that this is for the people worldwide. Yeah, and it's we are all with this equal members of GPMS, so there is no aristocracy with this. This is the people taking responsible and prudent roles to create the new reality and facilitate it in all community and harmony working together. So thank you so much giving me the opportunity to say this important thing. So it's all of us, everyone that is in there.
Well, that's good to know. It's like I don't, we want to clarify that it's for everyone. It's not yours personally.
Indeed, yes, and it's you know, anyone that visits the website with just a few specifics. It's not. It doesn't ask for money or donate. It's not oriented towards any of that. It's oriented to collect the worldwide voice to bring in this new system for all of humanity. And with that, we have named it for now the Global People's Monetary System and Simplified Law. Now, it needs to be understood that this is not any parallel or alternative monetary system. What this actually is the main monetary system for humanity once we have the majority voice that comes into place, and it places all of humanity in immediate abundance. It wipes out poverty worldwide, and it fully funds all essential goods and services to humanity upon the planet, and it places every child, woman, and man in an immediate place of comfort. And this is what's so important. So we are not voting on an alternative monetary system. We're voting on the whole new reality right here. And this is why this is so substantial for everyone upon the planet to know this. We are, this is materially, tangibly, visibly being created as we collect the voice of all of those in agreement to create this most humane world, all inclusive for humanity ever. So it's very important that this is no crypto or other monetary system. This is the whole new system. And with this, because it is the people, and because the majority of the people will want this, as soon as it comes into their awareness and to their recognition that it is an absolute choice they have to agree with this and vote for it. And it happens and it is occurring. So this, if you compare this to, let's say, a Nasara Josara narrative timeline, it does not even substantiate nor compare with what we are creating here, because we are absolutely creating it. It's hope actualized. This is unlike the other narratives where there is no support, documented concrete support by humanity to substantiate the reality they were attempting to create, like with Nasara or Jasera. But what
Oh.
has occurred for what GPMS is, the choice now, a Jasera Nasara timeline cannot even compete nor compare with the all inclusivity of GPMS. So this is taking humanity into a new reality where they are absolutely free and abundant. And also, it takes humanity out of the ridiculous, complex, legal, and lawful
Ah,
system of
yeah.
today.
The unlawful, so-called lawful system,
Unlawful.
right?
Yeah, they're not lawful. Thank you, because I needed to be corrected on that. They are not lawful. It is correct. Thank
Um,
you.
so basically, now this is big because I hadn't thought of it that way, as being totally separate from the Nasara Gasara thing, which is basically political. And whenever you bring politics into something, it always gets messed up, uh,
Absolutely.
inevitably.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think having you point this out and I think it would be beneficial to look at some of the differences.
Of course. Yes.
Let's see if I can share the screen and bring some of those up from the Global People's Monetary System website, which is in the description, and you can go to it and look yourself. But right now, let me see if I can bring it up.
Hmm.
Chrome tab.
While you're looking for that, if I may, I wish to share a short little thing what occurred in the last interview I did with Sheena Alexander just a few days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. During that GPMS interview, she came to her own recognition and, let's say, a conclusion that when anyone knows what GPMS is and the choice that each one has and what it does for humanity, if they do not support it, she come to this and said it herself. And if they continue to support the old system, they are actually, let's say, incriminating themselves. And the reasoning behind this is that that is absolutely true. Because if they don't support the full escape vehicle, if you will, that does everything humane for humanity, and they continue to support, let's say, the government regimes that uses money and creates poverty worldwide, that incriminates the person the soul as an accomplice to that crime because they're supporting it when the full choice is here for everyone to say no. It's no longer acceptable. For example, that 15,000 plus children a day around the world die of starvation, and that 85% of the world is in poverty. These
Unbelievable.
are not acceptable. Yes,
Yeah,
but if they don't,
absolutely not acceptable.
yeah, yeah. So this is serious, Gail. This is a worldwide, very serious thing, and it's serious in the sense that every, at least adult upon the planet, needs to make a decision and needs to make a choice now. The last few years has shown the majority of the people the actuality of the savage world that they are and were living in. And,
Savage is a good way to put it.
yeah, the only way it can be stopped is the people, which are the power, the 99%, uniting worldwide with this definite plan, platform, and strategy that lifts every single boat up into the new reality. But it takes every individual to agree and to support what is morally, ethically, uh, correct and right to do. And so, yeah,
Now,
it's a
I,
no.
it's a no-brainer, huh? What I'd like to do is see if I can, change or show some more on the website itself, because some of the things that you're speaking of, if people actually see it, I think that is helpful too. Um, so let me go there and like here, for example, is where people give their consent.
That's where
Uh,
your agreement, yes, that is the important part to. That is where your agreement, which is your vote, gets registered through this, and it takes about perhaps 3 minutes just to do it. So it's a one-time vote for everyone, and we just keep accumulating the votes and adding them up. And these are your decrees, which are very powerful, that you also have a choice to say out loud if you wish for added energetic effects, if any are part of that. But also, it is a proclamation and it is a lawful statement as well for every individual, for it fully authorizes and supports their rights, individual rights, or unalienable rights. And this is also substantial as we go forward because in reality, this decree has more authority than any government law or legal
May I read it,
upon the planet.
Rick? Do you mind if I read through it?
Not at all. That's what you feel to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I need to do that so people are really clear about what this is, um, and what you're declaring and consenting to. And
Right.
I would like everyone to know that I have done this already, and I have certainly consented to this. Um, So I think it's very important. Every man, woman, and child is born and is by nature free, equal, sovereign, and possesses the inherent knowing of what is morally and ethically right. By definition, no one can ever be in a position of authority above another. I have chosen and am energizing my highest moral principles and am fully supporting the evolving divine plan contained within the global people's monetary system and simplified law through my consent given below. I am activating my infinite intrinsic value and right to create in unison with others an infinite money supply that is used as a tool to provide instant comfort and abundance for all of humanity. I'm also activating to the fullest my creator absolute unalienable rights and freedoms upon the earth as well as in all space and time. freedoms. These unlimited rights and freedoms include right to moral and ethical choice of self-determination, right of complete comfort and abundance, right to liberty, right to sustenance, freedom to love and harmony, freedom of speech, freedom of unity, freedom of belief, freedom of movement and travel upon earth, space, and time, freedom of experience, freedom of expression. And then the consent part here says, if you want, if you do not want to complete via this online form, you're welcome to download the blank PDF for manual completion, fill that in, and email it to the email given. You can print and consent and scan and return. Please name the file you return, and then that's given there. And then it's just, it's just your name and your email, basically, and any message that you might have.
May you go back, Gail? Just go up a little bit to the box where they put their autograph, if you will.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right there. Now, in this box, you'll see autograph. And what I wish to say, you can put any type of a mark in there. You can just draw a heart. What it means is your energetic signature that you're putting in there. So it's your seal, and your seal can be whatever you wish to be. You can draw a star in there. If you wish to write what is known as your signature, that is perfectly fine. But you are not limited to writing your signature. So it can be a check mark, just as long as there's some imprint by you in that box. And I wish to make that very clear. So you're not signing something in the old way. You're agreeing, and this is your
Yeah,
agreement.
I noticed that you put autograph. That's different right there. That says that spoke to me, because I know that
Yeah,
means something.
yeah, indeed.
Okay, we got some people that are saying they totally agree with this. Well, let me find you something else that I know you'll agree with too, because this is really an awesome thought out
Yeah,
project.
let's look at the compare old versus new page. That's where you're going,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah,
Yeah, very
no,
good.
I certainly was. You knew right where I was going.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. A comparison between what you have now and what you can have in a few months. And please stop me at any point in time, Rick, to add any comments. I will just
thank you.
read the old and the new
Okay,
choice.
before we began, so you
Okay.
just mentioned what we got there. You can have this in a few months. And let me say that with what GPMS is, if the governments worldwide had the best interests of the public in mind, they could do this in a couple of days. So what we're saying though, it we are the people, so this could be, the majority voice at any time could be collected within a month, and it only takes perhaps about a week after collecting that majority voice to begin to release the funds. So this is why it's saying in a couple of months from whenever you read this. Now, however, it has taken so far about a year and a half. We still do not have the majority voice, but at any moment when this goes viral, that will change. So this is why it's right at everyone's fingertips, and we need to get this choice out to them so they get their agreements, and then we get it done. And right at this point, right from today, it could be a month or less than a month away. It depends upon everyone, and spreading the awareness that they have this choice. Thank you.
I just think it's so important that people have a clear understanding of what it really is, because initially you might think it's just another monetary system, an alternative, like you were explaining, and it's not. There's so much more to it than that, and that's why I think let's do some of the comparison of old and new. It's I don't think people realize how powerful humanity is when they come together.
Absolutely. Their intrinsic value was stolen from them. So, what this does, this new world places all of that intrinsic value, which includes the ability to create money infinitely as well. And this is what we're activating, and we are placing the value within every individual so humanity can no longer be controlled by things like gold or external resources. The only way to do it is what GPMS is doing by recognizing and agreeing on that unlimited intrinsic value of every individual upon the planet.
What a difference right there, you know. We still are dealing with hierarchies and royalty and people that
No, no more of
feel
that.
and
That's, yeah.
yeah.
As you said, no one is actually better than another. And it cannot be that way to take humanity out of this savagery. There has to be that mutual respect between each and every one. And no one can control another or be an authority over another. It takes everyone working together. And this is nothing new. Many of us dreamt about this kind of a community world, for let's say perhaps even decades, but it's here at everyone's fingertips right now.
Well, yes, and that's why I'm really encouraging people to look at this. And I'm certainly an advocate, and I want to see everyone get on board so we can change this paradigm to what we want. For example, okay, the old choice and the new choice. What you have now, you keep all of it. Taxes, no taxes, do not exist, nor are they required worldwide. Debt, no debt, only unlimited funding. Loans and mortgage, just no loans, mortgages, only free funding. Loans, mortgages, debt to be paid back. All lawful loans, mortgages, debt globally will be rapidly settled. Worry about not having enough money. Never worry about having enough money again. Can you imagine how much that would raise people's vibration not to be stressed out over that?
Very important that you just said that as well, because this is what we're doing. When you raise that vibration of the planet and take that huge stress load off of them, you also, what occurs is the miraculous healing with so many, and of course so many other beneficial attributes with this. Indeed, it's so important. And I need to add in, also what it does when you eliminate that energetic stress worldwide. Energy no longer supports the any of the darkness or any ill or nefarious intent, because everything is energy and everything is physics. So this is the divine vehicle that sets the energetic environment up to a harmonious place where none of that old can exist. And many have been going through their journeys, their processes at doing their inner work to be the leaders, if you will, for this time. So they were being prepared. That's why you've been going through this extensive ascension work and inner work, more prominently since 2012, to be prepared for this new reality. And this new reality does not take all of humanity. We are divine ones upon the planet that have been prepared for specific divine roles as guardians and custodians of GPMS, this vehicle for all of humanity. So, this
You're
is
giving me the chills, Rick. This definitely is the truth coming forward, and it's beautiful. And the other thing is, the old idea where you had to work long hours to survive. Hours are quickly reduced to a fraction. You don't like a job, you can choose a position or talent you like and contribute to worldwide community. Um, no free monetary monthly supplements. Approximately, this is just a thing $20,000 first month, $10,000 thereafter. That's just a living wage, Rick. Is that correct?
No, what this
What?
is.
What'd you call it? Oh, living
Li-
wage. I didn't mean to say that. That's the wrong wording. See, that old programming just comes right out.
No, this is fine. So upon inception, once we have the majority agreement, every child, woman, and man upon the planet receives an equivalent of the strongest currency at that time. And if it's a US dollar, it's 20,000 equivalent US dollars. And what this does, this is for every individual. This is not per family. So if you have a family with 10 children in it, it means 200,000 going there instantly. And what this is to place every individual without discrimination, and of course, not discriminating against the children, recognizing them as the equal shareholder upon the planet of everything. It places everyone in an immediate place of comfort. So if you look at the orphanages worldwide, with all the destitute children, 40, 50, hundreds, every one of them receives their 20,000 to put them in a place of immediate, instant comfort as well. Now, the reason why it drops to 10,000 approximately the next month is because what has occurred upon inception is worldwide rapid deflation. Because upon inception, all of the majority voice takes the rightful, lawful ownership of all of the infrastructure upon the planet, which includes all utilities, your electric, even your fuel. And this ownership cannot be contested by any individual because of their stock markets and how shares were, let's say, shares and people's money was used to create these corporations. So, legal shareholder status and lawful shareholder status cannot be contested by anything upon the planet. It is. Everyone is a bona fide shareholder. So, this means you're not going to be paying for gas or other energy sources because you are a shareholder, and it becomes ridiculous and absolutely redundant to pay yourself. So rapid deflation occurs because of that, but also because where everyone is being paid by their own intrinsic value, what it does, let's say in an apple that you may get, let's say if it's down in Brazil and you're in the US, that becomes instantly cheaper because there is no payroll, there is no wage into that pricing. And also, there is no transport cost because we own all of the transport logistics upon the planet. So, instantly, this essential food item becomes very, very cheap. And with, jumping, let's say, ahead after the inception, we go to a place where very quickly where humanity realizes they don't need money at all. But we need to do this transitioning of flipping the tables on the old evil use of money and use money as only the good beneficial tool.
Sorry
And
about
this
that.
is what we're doing to free humanity from the present enslavement system.
And that is, yeah, boy, that's what's really needed more than anything. That's why I really hope that this takes off and more people know about it. See, that's our biggest problem. I wish I was a larger platform. We need to get some of the platforms that got 500,000 subscribers and people like that. Well, they need to put it out there. If their heart's in the right place, they would do that.
Well, yeah, and Gail, in respect to this, during the course of the last year and a half, we have, spoken with ones that have big platforms about GPMS with anticipation they would do the right thing and give it to their people. And we have also got GPMS to what you would call some prominent speakers for the people that they either neglected or rejected. But during
Wow.
the beauty of this, it's identifying the genuine ones during this process. I mean, what genuine one would not share this absolute choice? And it's so simple as you're seeing, and GPMS has been made so simple that someone doesn't even need to be awake to make this choice that they to agree with it that they would want it. So, there is no excuse by these ones that did not share it with the people, saying, hey, people, look, we got a choice. Here's how it works. We agree once we had the majority voice, everyone knows a majority voice rules. And the people, here it is. We have the plan, the strategy. It's that simple. We take the lawful ownership with the entire infrastructure upon the planet and do what is right for all of humanity. So how much more simpler can it be like that? And if you have really educated speakers and leaders, if you will, of the people that were out there, they should have taken this, Gail, and ran with it. But what we're identifying is that there were controlled opposition out there, and also alternative underlying agendas by them to lead humanity astray, and keep humanity believing in a false looping narrative as well.
Well, that's disappointing. I that is really disappointing because yes, there are a lot of
But in
people that
these
have.
times, yeah,
Yeah,
but in these times, if you will, the false prophets are being identified and exposed. Nothing can be hidden in this time. It's all revealed and exposed, as we know. And it is sad to say, yes, that we have given this to some that, let's say, has millions of followers, and perhaps some has many millions, and did not acknowledge it. And, for their education and positions that they were in, speaking for the people, they should have recognized this simple concept right away, but they did not.
that's sad.
Yeah.
But like you said, it certainly is exposure.
Hmm.
That who's in it for all the wrong reasons or whatever they're doing. Um, anyway, that's terrible. Okay, well, let's look a little more at some of the other things there. One of the things that stood out for me, of course, savings and retirement funds, which I don't have any, not required. Endless supply of money.
You
Now
don't
that.
need it instantly. Yes, in the moment, we always have everything we need. And each one, when just up above about the fraction of hours, each one, there is a condition with it, because we have to be responsible and have a discipline. So to receive your beautiful lottery every month, you need to work a fraction of an hours to contribute to the worldwide community with whatever is essential goods and services that's supporting humanity. And this is where you get to choose, where you wish to help out. But also, you only need a limited amount of hours. And one of the reasonings why is, worldwide, your financial sector is the biggest employer that has about 1.3 billion. When you no longer need all of those ridiculous levels and bureaucracy of the old financial system, because this new system, perhaps 1,000 or even one can run this system. You don't need all of those jobs. So you got a huge workforce there. Then number two is your government with all of their levels and, let's say, departments that you no longer need, like you had registration and licensing departments. There is none of that. So you don't need all of these departments. You don't even need accounting. So no longer do you need accountants in this new world. And of course, you don't need all
Accountants
of
ain't gonna
the
like
tax.
hearing that.
No, they'll love it because they'll not have to work long hours. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's big right there. Not having to work all your time away is what it boils down to. People end up in order to sometimes it's just to pay bills when you're dealing with
and separating the
low wages.
families,
Yeah,
look what
yeah.
happened. Mom and dad working and the little child put in a daycare. Where is the love in the family bonding with that old system? And this is what brings GPMS, brings that bonding back, keeps it fully intact in the family unit. So it's, as I said, it's all inclusive. And by doing what GPMS is doing and everyone agreeing, you have everything that is harmonious and
I like this one
love.
too, Rick. Permits, fees, insurance, and license non-existent, not required.
Don't need it.
Just think about that. I mean, years ago, did you ever think about having to have a fishing license or a hunting license or a license to do something to your own house, like a building permit just to remodel
Yeah,
or something silly like that? I mean, it's all been based on the fact that this old system is set up as corporations, and they even set the people up as individual corporations and exploited and this just reverses it all.
yeah, I love that. And that's what they did. Exploit it to the fullest intent, the intrinsic value of everyone by deceitfully getting them to believe, that there was no other way. But this is the other way, and it's here now, and all of that old is ending more
See,
and more
yeah,
every day.
and those bankers got that money just by your signature because they were stealing it from your intrinsic value, just like you
Yeah,
were
but
saying,
here's the
really.
truth. They actually didn't even need your signature because they are creating money at will. Actually, they do not need
That's
anyone's
true.
signature. Look at them as a human being. They they just punch a bunch of numbers in is all that occurs, and anyone can do that. And that's what we're doing when we bring everyone together. You create
Together.
your own money. Yeah, that is the truth of it. They led you to believe all of these complex financial things. No,
Oh,
that's what
yeah, I
love.
know. And yeah, and that small print has gotten to the point where I need 3 pairs of glasses to try to read it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The
And
good old
that's
attorneys are so good at that kind of thing, turning it into gobbledygook. Um, but anyway, and some of the other things that children will not be required to go to schools. Um, Children have little choice in what they learn. They will have full choice in what they wish to learn. Um, no restrictions on the number of children. Seniors hopefully should have increased to approximate figures shown in point 12. I don't know what that is. Point 12.
uh, the
Oh,
20,000
the
or
20,000.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no one or any belief is discriminated in this GPMS. And that respect, when you look at a disabled one and even what we call a senior today, their contributions to the entire infrastructure upon the planet, they have contributed enough, and they're not expected nor required to work, to contribute to community in the new reality. Of course, unless they want to, because everyone has that choice. And
Well, I
each
don't get paid for what I'm doing, and I'm well past retirement age. And I would keep doing it anyway because I really enjoy it. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's and we got to do it. There is no going back and no other way, so we just keep going forward. Yeah.
okay. What about do you think there's any other places um on the
Have,
website here that I should point
have a
out?
look. You'll find one, perhaps. bring it up.
I like this where it says pollution rapidly reduced, new technology released would clean it up totally.
Mhm. So what we've already seen over the course, especially of the last 10 years, is new technology and modalities that are more efficient at cleaning up the pollution. Now, of course, once humanity takes the rightful lawful ownership of the entire infrastructure, which includes all of the technologies that was hidden. Also within there is more technology to more rapidly clean up the planet, but also we are entering a higher energetic space where meaning that in this time, you'll notice many of the children are ingenious as well. So there are
Yes.
new inventions that will be allowed to come to light that will not be suppressed like they were by the corporation. So very quickly, you put the planet to pristine um, conditions, and you have so many. There will be ones planting trees, planting gardens, permaculture. So uh, you're
Humanity
restoring.
is ingenious in so many ways, and they've been so suppressed from
Absolutely.
being able to bring these ideas forward. And some people that were ahead of their time and brought ideas forward and inventions and so on, they ended up getting killed because they couldn't make money.
Eh,
Or
It's, yeah.
the
And
bad
the
guys.
beauty of GPMS, this is why it can be done instantly as well, because everything is already here upon the planet to do it. You don't need any fancy, what they call quantum computing and all of this, although it will and be a great part perhaps of it. You don't need all of this. We have everything here upon the planet. It's just that the people needs to take the ownership of it, so we do what is right and do it now and get it done.
I had myself muted. In all honesty, I just am inclined to believe that most people don't know what to do. And they want this change and they want things to be better. And now they're putting a lot of faith in Gasara Nasaras type thing. And like I was saying earlier, that is a political that's always involved whenever politics are involved, you know what happens. But um, this is the answer um, for humanity. I just hope we can get it out there to more and more people. Um,
Hmm.
it's,
Absolutely. And we're doing it. And there is a divine timing with this as well. But what I wish to say, we are all divine, we are all the light. And, we just plow through every obstacle, if you will, meaning that divinely we have the remedy for every obstacle. Therefore, there are no problems, there are no obstacles, only the solutions. And when you look at as we collect this agreement voice of the majority of the people, you have all of the skill sets, all of the solutions that are in there. So we don't need to focus on the problems any longer. We know we have the solutions. We just bring them all together in one place and do what is right. The
that is
entire
so important because if we're focusing on what we don't want, that's what we're going to get.
It's absolutely true too. We tell the ones that are fighting governments, we go, "Psst, psst, you're wasting your time. Come over here. Look, unite the 99% of the people. The governments are only about 40,000 telling 8 billion people what to do. Simple math in the least.
Not to
That's the
mention, over 200 of them were willing to um, be on board with doing away with most a large percentage of their population. So
yeah. And then yeah, it's,
That's not cool at all.
no, no, not at all. And you should not, ideally, in this great time of awakening, you should not have awakened leaders, if you will, steering people back into the old and fighting an old system that cannot be repaired, and it does not serve humanity, and it never did. This is the thing. And when you have these awakened ones leading and leading all of the followers in humanity into fighting a few instead of uniting the 99%, that's not acceptable either, and it's ridiculous. And I do say we are seeing more and more indicators every day where more and more are also awakening to that illusion that was perpetrated upon them as well.
Wow. And I think it's important to mention that the website and the GPMS and the consent that is asked of you after reading through it doesn't cost anything. It's totally free, and it actually leads to the unity that humanity needs to get us out of this paradigm into a higher and more peace and harmony type realm where we originally
Absolutely. Yeah.
were meant to be. I don't believe for 1 minute that Prime Creator intended for humanity to have to earn a living. You don't do the deer earn a living? Do the animals earn a living? Do the plants earn a living? No, but humanity is supposed to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, we were hoodwinked, and it was probably our trusting and loving nature that was used against us that got us to where we are today.
Yeah. Yeah. To intentionally enslave. Yeah. Yeah. Perpetrate those illusions upon humanity to enslave them into misery and suffering. Yeah. It's so clear at this point, so yeah, yeah. The
Okay.
gig is up. It's been up, and now just unite and let's create the new world, as we said. Yeah, we can leave all the problems behind because we have the absolute solution.
Exactly. In fact, I think one of the other things that I read on the website that I really liked was the mission, because it says a lot. And we could, how long is it? Is there one part? That's not that long. I could, I think I'm going to read through this too. I think it's helpful for people to hear it, and then they can go look at it again. Is that okay with you?
I'm
Right?
fine. Yes, Gail. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Hi, we are a worldwide authority above governments to establish this same authority for all peoples where the people worldwide choose how they wish to live instead of governments and others deciding for them. This mission gives you what some may call a no-brainer choice, a choice to exist as you are now, or another choice, which is this plan, which creates all of the solutions for humanity very quickly. Our mission is to rapidly change the world to benefit all of humanity within months. The plan is simple and fully achievable within months by collecting signatures, autographs worldwide from the peoples. You may wish to look at the mission as a worldwide vote, a referendum by humanity to implement immediate change and instantly wipe out all hindering things for humanity, such as lack, poverty, most sickness, and the requirement to work long hours just to survive. At least 95% of the people worldwide will choose what we have initiated and are purveying unto you. It is the most unprecedented, humane venture ever to rapidly eradicate all of humanity's problems. So we are collecting the consents, autographs of support to create the worldwide voice by recording the so-called votes from humanity here all in one place and creating the dominant voice upon the planet to transition humanity from lack to abundance. If your government had the best interests in mind for humanity, this could have been done a long time ago. So it is very obvious of a government's intent when the solution has always been so easy for them to create money unlimitedly, disperse equally, and they did not do it for the people. The intelligence upon the planet was here to do what we are doing. You see, it indicated through amazing technology, yet governments chose to use the money as a control factor over people and caused all of the lack, sickness, misery, etc. This simple plan eradicates government's non-public interest and puts the power and the voice into the hands of the majority worldwide that want the good things for all and themselves, and it gets done by worldwide people uniting as one voice. That makes all of the decisions for humanity. Once we have collected enough votes of support, approximately 1.7 billion worldwide, we are ready to proceed as a collective voice led by higher consciousness people that are not attached to any governments or present day leaders of the world. These higher consciousness people have been previously prepared for this time to be the administrators of this plan and to fully enact it into law worldwide for peace, harmony, and complete abundance for all of humanity. We are ready, are you? If so, show your support through autograph signing and let's get this done together. And remember, because what we are doing directly involves the future of the children's worldwide, of the children. Children can also and are encouraged to do so. Autograph their support so that their voices are heard united with ours for the first time ever in such a way. The vision. To keep this simple, the information here is not all inclusive on the dynamics of how things will work, and it does not need to be here, for things will quickly evolve forward with many easy options on how to simplify things and keep them moving forward. There's a total plan contained within the minds of a few. However, the more participation by the people, the better it is for all. The global monetary system's vision is to gather the people in unity to co-create a new harmonious and abundant reality for all of humanity. Over the years, many individual groups worldwide have taken measures towards this common goal, and now we are uniting all of these groups to come together as one. Many leaders of these groups will unite and form an administrative committee to guide the process for the people. Within the said groups are the higher consciousness leaders that have knowledge on how to take the plan forward in conjunction with the initiators of this mission. By completing all three phases of the mission, the people will set forth a new system that has created a safe place for children to grow and thrive and advance humanity forward without being restricted by the malevolent control of money. And by changing the control of money to serve all people and to advance humanity, it removed debt and poverty, almost all crime. And I'd like to emphasize that because that is really important. Most crime is a result of the monetary system and lack that they've created for people. So, anyway, this eradicates the stress of financial concerns, releases new technology, provides free health care for all worldwide, and provides your time to spend working in your passion versus labor to live and path to heal all four bodies, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, as well as many other full benefits. I'm sorry for reading all that, but I just had to.
Thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And so if you want to understand it more as a listening audience, please go to the site and read it yourself. But I wanted to have you to have a really good idea of what's entailed here. So
The- it's already begun to produce what we call paradigm shift. At least one which that we have documented in Thailand. So it's a consciousness paradigm shift by ones all coming together with GPMS, with that stress free but full hope going forward with this direction. What it has done, it has freed their consciousness up of having no direction, no solution for the new. So by this solution and them also feeling it in their heart, then it has created a consciousness paradigm shift within the network of the Thailand GPMS um, members, if you will, which is very beautiful. And the number, we have an actual number, a percentage that caused the paradigm shift, meaning that upon decimal 0.02%, which is a fraction of a percent, which is very small, with decimal 0.02% of the Thailand population being on board with GPMS, it created a paradigm shift in Thailand. And it did this by creating a huge network all through Thailand, all interconnected with all of their people focused and oriented on creating the new. But what they said, we're not waiting for GPMS, we're doing it now, because their focus was all there. So, and in their network is all of the skill sets, the teachers, the architects, whatever they needed, the farmers. So, all of the good things, the organic food. So, they're sharing all among each other and supporting each other. And also, they have introduced the free energy um, technology, if you will, into the group. And it's just amazing and beautiful what they have done. And
Is this similar, Rick, to Ubuntu? Mm.
it may be, perhaps, everything what that is as well. We reached out to Mike Tillinger and these ones, and in the beginning, and nothing. Again, it was either rejected or no response. And believe me,
That's disheartening.
we have attempted to get in touch with these ones from more than one way, and ingeniously, an email from someone on the street, also from speaking with someone that actually knows these different ones to get the message to them, and nothing. So,
Wow.
let's look at, use that as an example of all of the projects and united groups out there. Alatra is another group, a creative society group. We've been rejected by them time after time, and everything what they're promoting is for what this creates. And it's absolute ridiculous to see that the word is not getting there where it needs to go. So we've had many examples so far of this, and it's not because of censoring, as I said, Gail, because we know all the ways to circumvent that. And we need to know that so that we identify, let's say, the not so genuine ones.
That is happening left and right here quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not just with this program, but with some other things that have come up. And wow, it's just it's really hard for people to see to be able to break uh, what almost seems like a hypnosis from all the programming, to to get to where we want to go. But now it doesn't take. It's not like all of the humanity has to be on board. I mean, the more the better. But like you were saying, for an actual paradigm shift to occur, it's only a certain percentage of the people. Is that correct?
Yes, decimal 0.02%, which is 2/100ths of a 1%. That is so small a number. And when we put that worldwide, proportionated, if you will, Gail, um, that is about around a million worldwide. So if we
That's
look at
all? Oh my gosh.
in GPMS and aligned with it. But of course,
Whoa.
with that, yeah, you want them from all areas, but it's also divinely orchestrated that they will be. So, once we get to a million or even before, there will be the viral point of it, that it goes, it just becomes a rush for what it is. Uh, so yeah, it creates the paradigm shift. So as we're saying now, what you're saying, so many have been brainwashed and conditioned, especially most of the Western world, with the ones that been have been highly educated. But the thing is, the beauty of it, because we focus on those that can see it, and once we have, about a million in that voice, then the others also during the course begin to awaken. Their consciousness as well will be more apt to see it, for the simplicity of what it is and how it is the absolute solution. Yeah.
Do you think that it's this is ego based, or um,
No, no, how could it be? We're
oh, no,
looking
no,
at,
I don't mean this program or anything like that. I mean, some of the people that this information is being sent to,
no, this
and
is
they
where we say it has to be, in a lot of cases, controlled opposition, as you're saying. There is no justification, even by using ego, you
Mhm,
know, with this. For, let's say, for example, if you have an egotistical leader, that wishes to be glorified
mhm.
by the people, but they no longer need to do that in this world. And actually, this leader, if you will, would be more glorified by giving this simple solution and gathering his people and giving this to them, so we take it forward. So no, ego is not an excuse. No,
Mhm.
doesn't work at all.
So, basically, people, this is we the people. This whole program is basically we the people. Let's
Yes.
take our lives back,
It, well,
take our
we're
planet
actually
back.
activating a life no one ever had. We don't want to take any of that old normal back. We're creating a whole new. We just wiped the slate clean once the majority agree, and
Yeah,
create this new humane reality.
exactly. The way it was originally meant to be is my belief.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
And going back to that is what I'm referring to, going back to nothing else in this paradigm, that's for sure. um,
Yeah.
so, definitely, this is a wonderful concept that needs to go viral. So, I would encourage all listeners to check it out,
Yeah.
autograph it. I mean, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't if once you look at it. And let's shift into what we want. And this is a way to do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Everyone has the right of choice, and it's a great idea to choose this. This is not only for, like, the viewers watching this. This is for your children now, their future. It's for your families. It's this is actually what, as you read, I believe, in the mission, this secures your child's now moment, and their future as well, beyond what anything you could may even began to comprehend. But this saves the children worldwide. Obviously, nothing else has done it yet, and it needs to be done. And it's each one needs to be responsible to themselves to do what is right. Yeah, and to
Mhm.
assist with changing the world. It's what we all come here to do. And
Maybe you could elaborate on that a little more, because I think there are many people that came here to do exactly that, but they have to.
Well, they got
Um,
bought off. A lot of these that are speaking the superficial words, it's not embodied. A lot of them are bought into complacency by the old system. So you could say, their soul at least has been sold to that old comfort level as well. However, in a blink of an eye, their soul can be set free of that being bought, if you will. But it is sad to see, in the awakened community, we have also, teachers, if you will, in an ascension, teachers, guides, whatever you wish to call them, but also in the spiritual community,
Yeah.
giving this to them. Those ones should have recognized it as well instantly. There's we know there's many reasons why it didn't, but again, we keep our focus on the solution, finding what works as we identify the obstacles. But again, one of the things with these, what is important, what we've been doing with GPMS is documenting these leaders and teachers that we give it to, and we monitor what they do, and if they don't give it to the people, then it documents what their intent is. So
It sure
heavy,
does.
there's there is no escape for them, and we are in these times where everything is revealed. So but it's created a process. I did not anticipate that there would be so much of an actual controlled opposition out there to freeing humanity. But wow, and as you just said a bit ago, it was also more widespread to trick and fool humanity into complacency and to being controlled by the old system of gold and governments. It absolutely, but it's all being exposed and revealed. Yeah, and all
Yeah.
of the players. There is, like there is no plea of ignorance to this. No one can justify not supporting it. There is no justification by the individual.
That's
There
true.
just
That's
isn't.
really true.
Yeah.
You speak truth.
Yeah.
The dot connector wants to ask if you can speak to the influx of divine feminine energy recently.
Thank you. I just saw that my attention was attracted there to it divinely as well. And it's because it's so important. In this great time of ascension, one of the beautiful feminine figures, if we will, upon the planet that many identify with is Mary Magdalene, Mother
Mm.
Mary, and Mother Creator aspects, and of course Mother Gaia. And what I wish to say is we are in this this reality that we are in is a feminine dominant reality. And what this means is that the mother, the feminine energy, is the dominant creator, if you will, in this reality. Everything comes through the feminine that is born and birthed, and the feminine and the mother plays a very important role. So now, what's occurring in this most glorious time of the new world, to go into equality with the feminine and the masculine? So, what is occurring is the feminine has taken and still is the lead role in doing this, in transitioning the world, the energetics, by using what the most powerful force, if you will, in the universe, the love, and the unconditional love, and everything that entails at taking everything forward. Now, when you look at your pink skies everywhere, ones have not seen this before. And and rainbows, these things are not results of chemtrails and all of this. This is way extensive, and it's a sign of, at least, the love energy that is actually a color is in the air. And no one can refute nor deny what's occurring. So the divine feminine as well, which I'm still receiving some more information on what has been occurring recently. But let me say, I see just such more empowerment by the divine feminine, because it has to be to assist in the creation of the new reality. So what I've begun to witness, and with Femke, uh, which is we are partners, as an example,
Twin
what I have,
flames. Yeah. Right.
and that as well, what I
That's
have
big.
what I've witnessed here in the last few days with Femke, and also a couple other divine feminine, which are very powerful. It is setting the stage for the new reality. So it's you will have the emphasis once again on the divine feminine and everything that includes: Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, if you will, and Mother Creator, all of this. And where that is also this beautiful aspect of creation is getting powered up, it's also indicative of a huge forward shift for all of humanity that is already in motion. And with any of these energetic shifts, it always needs to be supported by the divine ones here on the planet to do it. And it is a very real thing, and you'll see all the beautiful side effects and attributes of it. You go on your Facebook page, perhaps all you'll see is about Mother Creator and the divine feminine and what have you. And we are in the times with the twin flames. The new templates for reality are the harmonious relationships in the least. So it is very important with this that we all, you know, contribute to it. The masculine will tend to agree or tend to contribute more in the consciousness sense, while the feminine contributes with the heart love, but we're all together to take things forward. And when you look, if you're still to do a ratio of the amount of feminine awake compared to the masculine, it's still perhaps around 70 or 75% of the divine feminine are in their power, compared to really 25-30% of the divine masculine. But with the divine masculine, it becomes when they begin their journey, it's a little bit more difficult job, because the divine feminine, for one reason, is one step ahead of them, because of the childbirthing and the maternal instincts has that unconditional love there. And when we look at the divine masculine, they have been robbed of that unconditional love, and it was replaced with, they had to be the protector, if you will, of the family. And they could not be weak and cry and unconditionally love. So that stereotype that was imposed upon them tricked them of that unconditional love. So with the masculine, the first thing they need to do is to work on the heart, but the divine feminine already has it activated. So, they're one step ahead with that.
Yeah, and if they're a couple, they have that advantage from, with the divine feminine being right there, if as an awakened one. But the other thing, for the divine masculine, what happened is, being sent out to work took them away from the family too, in order to earn a
Absolutely.
living for the family, and so it's both were forced into roles that wasn't always wasn't in the best interest of the family as a whole or humanity as a whole. And that's why manifesting, what GPMS stands for.
Exactly. And these are dark tactics, and any form of separation I call is a dark tactic. And importantly, in North America, when, let's say, the church and the British first come in there, the monarch, the higher ones, with the indigenous people of North America, what they began to do was separate the children from the families. And there was a
Boarding
very
school.
evil intent, but they knew what they were doing to break, to attempt to break their connection to Creator. And in the recent past, with many of the indigenous feminine disappearing in Canada, this was a orchestrated dark thing as well, to take these actually indigenous divine feminine out of reality as well. Everything they could do to separate that strong bond the indigenous peoples had directly with Creator. But
Creator.
we are in the time now where creation is being restored to the fullest, and that old thing is revealed, it's exposed, and we're going into the new world where none of that exists any longer.
I can't wait. So,
Yes,
what about
we have to.
darn it? Patience is not my virtue. But anyway, I'm working on that one. Somebody's asking about ascension symptoms. Have you um, heard anything? What do you think about that?
Well, you know what's occurring now compared to about 10 years ago. The ascension symptoms, when they occurred, it would be the one common theme because there was like what you would call the first wave, the vanguard of ascension. So, what occurred with them, you could pinpoint at that time if someone had a runny nose, and if you checked, you would find all of them had a runny nose. But what has occurred, there's been subsequent waves of awakening at different levels of the consciousness being upgraded in the physical vessel. So, with ascension symptoms now, what you have at any given time, because there are so many levels of ones that are advancing forward, it's all inclusive. And these ascension symptoms will and can mimic any serious disease known in the medical books as well. And during these times, one of the most common is the heart palpitations and blood pressure. But these things are instrumental in changing the vibration and frequency of the body and also activating more of the crystalline process in the body. So the blood flow is increased to facilitate at changing the vibration also with the multi-dimensional abilities of the individual without getting too far into this at this point because this could be an extensive subject. But
Mhm.
what I wish to say, the ascension symptoms, yeah, they're uh, so many at this time, and you'll see it. But the beautiful thing, you'll see the commonalities, the common themes, which you can say are identifying soul groups as well, or
Mhm. Mhm.
waves of the ascension, right? And as we went the first wave, the ascension, there was about that many. So that wave was not that big, but they experienced very intense symptoms. But now the waves have got bigger, so you've got quite a few more complaining or reporting about symptoms.
Different symptoms. I think in some people, I think if I can talk, symptoms are probably worse if you have a lot of toxins in your body where it becomes important to detox. So if you're having a lot of symptoms, it's probably you have some detoxing that needs to be done.
Agree as well. It amplifies. Yeah, you've got to take care of the physical vessel.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, there. Linny has a question. It says the abundance worldwide is great, but I worry about those who have the greedy gene. What will stop landlords and shopkeepers putting up prices once this new freedom comes in?
What I suggest, Lenny, is to put the focus upon, not the greed. It cannot exist when everyone has everything, and especially with landlords, they don't exist in the new. There is none of this aristocracy, and there is no need for anyone to rent and no one to rent places out. That doesn't even exist in this new reality. And let me say, upon the same premise where there are no criminals in the new reality, greedy ones are not in there as well. So this is what I what we call, or what I call, it's not a problem. It's not in the new. So it's no reason to even focus nor think on that, because it has no place in the new. You have the full sharing community that is peace. There is no reason to profit, to have personal profit nor gain, where you have everything in the new reality. There is nothing to fight for. So these things do not matter at all. And more importantly, this is why it has to be this way with GPMS, because individuals cannot be incentivized, they cannot be bought off by money, by profit, by personal gain. So it doesn't exist in this new system. So what you're saying right now, it's moot. It's a moot point. But it's important that you brought this up, which I'm very grateful, because it always gives the opportunity to also speak out the solution and the reasoning, and to substantiate it with the justification why some of these things don't even play a part in the new. See, they are the old, they're from the old. We're creating the new where those things don't exist and cannot exist.
One of the things I think that contributed to this, what people consider a greed gene, is the fact that having to compete with someone to make sure you'd get enough of what you wanted, maybe at the expense of others, and that is that.
Yeah. No competition in the new. It doesn't serve anyone. It makes perfect sense not to compete when everyone's sharing. You have everything,
Yeah,
and everything is at
yeah.
your fingertips, everything you need. So it's not there in this new reality. There is no competition.
It's
Competition
because
is
of,
meant
yeah,
to
it's old programming.
divide, conquer, separate, and all of the old ways that are not part of the new. No.
We're gonna there. I would like to invite you sometime to be participate in a special chat on one of my Patreon channels as a guest, and we could have an answering question session with people, and maybe spread the word even more concerning GPMS. So that's something I'll be in touch with you at some point
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have? Let's see. It seems like communities are coming together. We've even noticed it in our chat, because I have a couple people. We have the dot connector in the chat. We have Soul in the chat, and we have Lainey of Laney Productions in the chat as well, who have all been volunteering and helping me with my show and so on, because I have, I'm listener supported and living on Social Security. So, that's not much to get by on here in this country for sure. And so I am just, delighted to see a program of this nature coming forward. And, it's interesting because until you had brought this up, I hadn't really made the connection about how this would be so much better than, the Nasara Gasara thing, even though, not money oriented, but let's face it, people are suffering. People are experiencing lack, poverty. Am I going to be able to pay my rent? Am I going to end up on the streets? Will I be able to buy food for my kids? I mean, I've seen people here in town, standing on corners going, I have kids, and it just makes me sick. And I want to help, but I can't.
Well, you can, and you're doing it right. This is the one solution. So
Oh,
we focus and support it, and yeah, it cures all worldwide. Yeah, exactly.
Boy, we
No,
need that. It's a perfect solution.
yeah. Like
And
how sick is it? Even in America, in the United States, with about 40 million in poverty, like really, and I
and
don't
our
know how.
government just ignores it. They just
Huh?
ignore it. Our government just ignores it. And the
Yeah,
United
yeah, yeah.
States incarcerates more people than any other country.
Because that's a
Industrial.
business and they get paid for it, and like, yeah, yeah. And look,
Follow the money trail every time.
yeah, how many billions went right to the Ukraine instantly, if you will? How Congress was able to create money instantly to send to these things, yet
And then
40
most of it comes
million.
right back to them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all just yeah,
Well,
but
I
we
mean,
have
it's
the full solution. Yeah, they can do what they want, but their world is imploding very quickly. And let's free and support all of humanity and do what is right. Yeah, they've done what is wrong. Now we, the people, are going to do what is right for all, everyone inclusive. Enough is enough.
yes, it is. And I want to thank you so much for coming on the show and explaining the GPMS. I think we did once before, but I think it's grown quite a bit since that time.
Mhm.
And I hope that it gets another booster. Not the not the
Well, we
kind
need
most people are thinking of.
Gail, you want to get it over with. The mission we come here to do. I do. Everyone wants to get it over with. So, there is no going back. So, yeah, let's get it out there. We know it's simple. Once we get the majority voice created, I am a guardian of it, a custodian to assure. Once we get the majority voice, then, I know as a guardian that humanity supports this new world, then I, as well, with a whole lot of others together, then we just do all of the quick administration to get it done. So the
Woohoo!
people need to want the new world. They need to agree to it, and it cannot be any simpler. Go register your vote. You have a choice. You have a vote, but we
And
cannot
vote for
do
your
it.
own self, the
Yeah, we
people.
cannot enact the new law unless it's ratified by the majority of the people. It's that simple. Yeah. And
So
it's got to be done worldwide, universally. And it has to be because the governments and separate countries and that network are the problem. So we need to do this worldwide, all of the people hand in hand, all of the different races and cultures and beliefs. Just put that aside. The one common goal come together to create this abundance for humanity and the freedom. Everyone keeps your own beliefs, your own cultures, your own heritage, whatever you want. This is coming together to do this one thing that serves all of humanity.
and no one is better than anyone else or gets more than anyone else. Everybody, it, it
And having
it's a
said this, anyone can step up as well if you when you consent to GPMS. There is also a green tab there where you can get involved on the website, and you can also come in and begin to assist in other ways of course, spreading the word, getting
that is
it
so
out there.
important right now.
But having said this, you don't even need to do that. If you feel this interview in your heart, get it out there. We need to get the word out to as many as possible. And let's say perhaps you're on Facebook and you say, "Oh, I can't do nothing. I only got one friend." Well, you can do a lot and still perhaps give it to that one friend, because that one friend may know someone that knows a million that instantly could be with this. So every one counts, and don't what I suggest, don't diminish yourself. Know it. Just do it and get the word out there is what I suggest.
I agree 100%. And I will push this video out as much as I can. And I encourage all my listeners to please do the same thing. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. You
Yeah.
want things better? You need to participate. And it's so simple. All you have to do is go to GPMS and consent to something that I don't see how anyone would not consent to it. So let's get her done, like they said. All right. Thank you so much, Rick. And we'll bring you back again and see how we're progressing. And I might make a few suggestions of some of the people I know and see if they will give you the platform. And they have bigger platforms than I do, but it's growing, and that's what happens when you're putting out
Or
truth and so on.
Gail, Gail, you are part of GPMS, so you can just go and speak it yourself as well, right? Because
Yeah.
we're all the same. We're all equal, even though I've chose to step up as a guardian everywhere with it. It doesn't mean that everyone else does that as well. And it's actually, I encourage everyone else to do that. Speak GPMS yourself. We get it out there much quicker all together. And do that. So don't hesitate if you get the divine guidance or incentive to speak about it yourself. Please, do that. And with this, especially the divine feminine, at getting this word out, it goes, what I feel, a lot further than the masculine putting it out there. And so
Well,
whatever
thank you.
each one feels and is guided to do. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rick. And I'm going to bring it back. And sometimes maybe we can talk about, self-mastery and some other things too that are helpful to
of
people
course.
personally.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for your time and for this wonderful information. And I hope everyone will please watch the ending. I know it's a little bit long, but it's the end of the song. And my good friend Lainey of Laney Productions put a lot of time and energy into it. So I hope you see it all. And it's a good song anyway. So, and may I add, it indicates freedom. That's why we have free range. So we want as free as we can be. So here we go.
Mm.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers. Stronger than ever, never say never. Don't look back now, don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, fighting our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors.